And good evening, sports fans. Welcome into Beat Digger Basketball here on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. I'm Kerry Sherman filling in tonight here on 1010 KSIR and online at ksir.com. We've got the Brush Lady Beat Diggers taking on the Wray Lady Eagles here for you on a Tuesday night in the Patriot League. Before we get into our full pregame show, I do want to remind you that you can stay connected with the Eastern Plains Sports Network on all social media platforms. Follow at Eastern Plains Sports Network on Facebook and Instagram, and at Eastern Plains SN on X for the games we're covering, pictures from the ones we're at, and links to our game archives, which are now on Spotify. We also have several regular podcasts on our Spotify page. So even when we're not on air, we're keeping you engaged as a fan. Give the Eastern Plains Sports Network a like, a follow, and a subscription on all social media platforms today. Our pregame show is presented by Equitable Savings and Loan. You can borrow your money and do your banking with people you know and people who know you. Stop by one of their 10 locations across the Eastern Plains or visit equitable-savings.com. Tonight we've got teams on opposite ends of the spectrum. You've got the Lady Beat Diggers coming in at 9-2 and just really playing very solid basketball throughout the entire season. And the Wray Lady Eagles coming in at 1-10. They got their first win last week, and Brush got just their second loss last week. So it's going to be one of those games where, in my mind, and I've seen Wray just 10 days ago when they played Burlington. Burlington got out 11-0 in the first 3 minutes of that game and cruised to a 20-point win. I think that Brush has the ability to do the exact same thing, if not even to a bigger margin early. And I think that's pretty much a key to the contest here tonight, is get on top early and make Wray play from behind. They're a scrappy young bunch. They won't give up. But if you can put the pressure on from the very beginning of this matchup, you got a good chance to pick up win number 10 and drop the 11th loss of the year on your hosts. The intros of the starting lineups are just a little bit away here, but teams have finished their warm-ups. Just want to make sure everybody understands that this is a fun night for me. This is almost like going back to day one on air for me. I know a whole different audience listening. I'm different from probably anybody you've listened to, but I try to make it fun for all of us. So I am glad to be with you here on a Tuesday evening. The band is in the house. I'm expecting that to be the source of our national anthem. We'll tell you before we get to that point, because I tend to forget it, but our opening tip-off tonight will be sponsored by Bailey Mechanical. When your temperature is not quite right, call your local Lennox dealer, Bailey Mechanical, at 970-522-0471. Trying to pull up our temperature outside for you. Things want to cooperate here. We are showing 28 degrees right now here in Wray. Getting the standard chassa read prior to the national anthem. We'll stay here just a few minutes or a few more moments, and then we're going to step out, take a 2.5 minute break for the national anthem. Here we'll let our PA finish that up. And let's go ahead and do that. Let's step out for 2.5 minutes for the national anthem break. We'll be back with you in time for the introduction of the starting lineups and the opening tip here on B104 or on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. And we welcome you back to Beat Digger Basketball here on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Just got the starting lineups here in the gymnasium. We'll get you set real quick like. For the Lady Diggers, you've got senior Sarah Becker, senior Karime Castillo, junior Jocelyn Middlemiss, senior Michelle Headley, senior Brisa Aguirre Garcia. Hit you the Wray starters in just a moment, but the tip controlled by Brush. Swing it onto the far wing quickly for Aguirre Garcia. Onto the near wing. It's Middlemiss. Free throw line jumper missing to the right by Castillo, and the rebound pulled down by Wray. Long toss ahead to Katie Harms. She'll pitch back onto the wing. 3 up and good for Addie Jones. Full court pressure from Wray. It's a 2-top press. Broken with a pass into the middle to Middle Mist. Hits onto the near corner for Castillo and back out to Middle Mist. Trying to force a feed into the high post to Headley, and it's still on the floor. Headley actually picks it up 23 feet from the bucket. Swing pass to the far wing, a 3 up there. That hammers off the heel by Becker, and a travel after Wray secured the rebound. Their starters are junior Addison Jones, sophomore Aaron Bledsoe, sophomore Danielle Davis, senior McKenna Klein, and junior Katie Harms. 3 off the inbounds is an air ball into the hands of Bledsoe. She'll push it ahead for Jones, bumped, and the foul called on Karima Castillo. Your starting lineups were presented by Morgan Community College. You can start your associate degree, continue your education, or get a specialized certificate at morgancc.edu for more. Aguirre Garcia with the steal. She'll take it all the way coast to coast, can't get the layup to go, and she'll commit a foul in frustration as Davis has the rebound. 2 fouls already on Brush. We're 1 minute and 10 seconds in. Brush will show a 2-3 on the defensive end. Ball walked up by Harms. Hits it on the near wing for Bledsoe. Pass down into the middle of the paint for Jones. Way off the mark and out of bounds. Turnover, gives it back to Brush. 1:20 gone in this contest. 3-0 Wray. Again, looking at that 2-top press and a throwaway. Becker couldn't handle the inbounds pass. Wray gets it back under their bucket, far corner. It's Harms looking in, kicks it onto the wing instead to Bledsoe. Bledsoe picked up by Becker, swing back onto the wing for Harms. She has Headley on her, again shovel it back out to Bledsoe. Bledsoe on the drive, left-handed scoop, will not drop for her, and the rebound ripped away by Middle Mist. Pushing down the far line, it's Becker. She gets past her defender, secondary rotates over, ball knocked loose. Becker picks it back up, off to Middle Mist, into the post. Headley back out, and Teresa Aguirre Garcia ties it with the long ball. 3-all, almost 2 minutes gone here in this Patriot League contest. Bledsoe waits for Harms to cross, gives it to her in the center circle. It's off to Davis, back to Harms up top, back to Davis on the far wing, skipped wing to wing. Bledsoe 3, banks off, no, and a long rebound picked up on the floor with a knee on the floor. It's Middle Mist, and the arrow gives it to Wray under their bucket near side of the lane. 5:51 to play in the first. Then we're tied at 3, each team with the long ball. Jones tries to force it inside to Klein and had three Lady Diggers around her, able to knock it out of bounds. They've got to flip the possession arrow because as soon as that ball was inbounded, the possession switched. And that's what they've got going here. Finally, it's corrected. Jones under the bucket, inbounding. Looks for the roll, threw it away. It's an easy steal for Castillo. She'll bring it up on the near wing, hit it up top. Brisa into the post, kick out wing, 3, slides off for Becker, inside Middle Miss, fouled on the follow try. Head coach for the Wray Eagles, Travis Kuhn, trying to get a call of a jump ball there, could not entice the officials to change it. First foul on Addison Jones. Jocelyn Middle Mist at the free throw line, shooting 2. We're tied at 3 with 5:38 to play in the first. First free throw up and will not roll home. Didn't get all the coaches in our starting lineup. The head coach of the Lady Diggers, Maddie Rule, assisted by Jen Holthouse and Delana Catalini. 1 out of 2. And that's our first lead change of the night. Middle Miss makes it 4-3. Harms swings to the near wing for Bledsoe. Back to Harms, swing it onto the far wing for Davis. Davis on the drive, kick to Bledsoe. puts it on the floor, one dribble, puts up a wild runner, and that will carry him off of, I believe that was Headley. Stays Wray on the far wing. 5:20 to go in the quarter. Pass thrown away, and a steal for Gary Garcia. Castillo on the near wing. Wants to get it back out. Finds Becker. Long skip to the far wing for Middle Mist. Working against, I believe, this 1-3-1 action from Wray. Castillo back out onto the near wing for Gary Garcia. She'll put it on the floor. Drive, kickoff, wing 2. Will not drop for Headley. Rebounded by Bledsoe. 4:45 to play as she pushes it up. Swings it across the top for Harms. Big skip to the near corner. That's Jones. Jones drives baseline, throws it away. Castillo on the backside had the perfect position for the steal, but then she couldn't keep the pivot down on the floor. Called for the travel. Timeout, 30-second timeout for Wray. With 4:37 to play in the first quarter, 4-3, Brush with the lead. Timeout presented by Sarah Boone, Farm Bureau. Sarah Boone with Farm Bureau Insurance is here to help. You deserve more. You deserve a promise. So one tie, one lead change. We set 4-3. Again, both teams, their only field goal, a three-point basket. Mini 4-0 run here by Brush to get back on top. Well, to get on top for the first time this evening. They will be on defense as the timeout ends. Again, it was good positioning by Castillo to get the steal, but just a little too much adrenaline as she picked up the pivot. Inbounds to Harms. She threw it away. Ball still on the floor, picked up finally by Klein. Jones jumper blocked by Headley. Throw away on the outlet. It's Harms with the steal. She'll stop. 14-footer off the heel of the iron, put back by Bledsoe. Will not go for her, but she's going to earn a trip to the free throw line. They just got Brisa for her second. Quickly to the table, the lanky freshman Sydney Miller. She had a great first half in the JV game earlier. Left-handed free throw up, rolls off, no good. Wray typically a very good foul shooting team. Bledsoe looking to split the trip and give us our second tie. Able to do so, 4-all. Now into a, looks like a 1-2-2 press. Harms knocks it out of bounds near the scorer's table. 4-4, 4:17 to play in the first quarter. Becker picked up at the top of that 1-3-1. Into the corner for Miller. Looks for middle, or for Headley. Got it punched back out. Swing it all the way to the far wing for Castillo. Trying to force an entry into Headley. This time the possession arrow stays with Brush. We're just 2 ticks away from being halfway through the quarter. Hustling to the table is a sophomore, Briley Meisner. Again, I was here 10 days ago, and they had 2 changes to their starting lineup from that night when Burlington picked up the 54-34 win. Pass up top for Middle Mist. Harms checking her. Good pressure on her, and the pass thrown away. Trying to get it inside to Headley, and it's a steal for Bledsoe. She'll push down the near line, stops, shows the 3, kicks into the corner for Jones. She'll swing it across through the hands of Danielle Davis, and it's a turnover. Hustling to the table, senior Alex Haas. Alex replacing Sarah Becker. 3:43 to play in a tied first quarter, 4-all. Pass breaks the press on the diagonal. Up the line, Middle Miss, feed into the low post. Miller to the high post. Castillo off the back iron. Soaring in to get the rebound was Headley. She couldn't clean it up, but able to do so is Sydney Miller. 6'4", beat Diggers. Swing to the near wing, Bledsoe. Again, the shot fake, puts it on the floor. One dribble, trying to get that better passing angle into the post, and it's deflected out of bounds by Miller. Bledsoe out. Morgan Stoltz, who was in the starting lineup 10 days ago, is making her first appearance. Harms does a lot for the team, including most of the inbounds. She'll find Jones. Deep three from 25 feet. That'll swing the lead over to Wray at 7-6. Third lead change already of this first quarter. We've got 3 minutes left in it. Middle miss drives, bumped. Foul on Stoltz. Second team foul on the Lady Eagles. 3 minutes and 1 tick of the clock left in this opening period. Castillo gets it in to Miller. Castillo steps in on the inbounds and buries it from just inside of the three-point line. First points for Karime. And a steal as Castillo comes up with it. Defense backs off. She'll step into a 17-footer. Toilet bowls. Offensive rebound. Headley trying to get herself a better angle. She was well under the backboard. But chop, chop, chop. That's a travel and brings in a lot of subs. Becker back in for Castillo. Stoltz and Meisner came out of the Wray lineup. Bledsoe re-entered, as did Klein. Bledsoe has it on the near wing. Back up top for Jones. Shows the three. Swings it to Davis on the far wing. Her three way off the mark. And the wild Karam picked up by Middle Mist. Up the near line. Stops just shy of midcourt and gets it off to Becker. Swing to Haas back between the circles. Was Becker. Brings it to the near wing. Middle Miss three. Hits the iron and goes over the top, making contact with one of the supports. Jones gets a well-deserved breather, replaced by freshman Heidi Harms with 2:08 to play in the first quarter. Brush leading 8-7. And this is a league contest. Wray, one of 3 LPAA teams moving up to the Patriot this year. Into the high post for Klein to Davis, back up top, three up, and no good by Harms. That was Katie Harms. Heidi tracks it down in the near corner, and a little too aggressive is Sydney Miller, trying to deny the post entry. Picks up the foul. Her first, team's fourth. Minute 52 to play. Looks like Wray's about to get another sub back in. Next dead ball, it'll be Jones coming back in. Ball thrown away on the inbounds. Easy steal for Becker. She wants to run. Defense with their backs turned, blocked by Bledsoe. A steal by Headley, and she's called for the travel. Castillo in, Middle missed out. Jones in, Younger Harms out. Katie Harms brings it up onto the far wing for Davis. Back to Harms, swing it onto the near wing for Jones. Jones already has 6, make it 8. Nice little pull-up jumper from 15 on the wing. And it's 9-8 Wray. Fifth lead change already of this first quarter. Has in trouble. Coach Rule will take a 30-second timeout to avoid the turnover. 81 seconds left in our first quarter. You can count on Wiggins Electric for quick, efficient, and courteous service to keep you up and running. They provide you with the service and products you need at your most critical time. That's Wiggins Electric. Lady Beat Diggers coming in. Had the narrow 3-point win over Yuma in their last outing. Before that, got the lopsided loss against Marino, but there's a lot of teams running around who you can say that about. That's a very good two-way program. Defending state champions, runner-up the year before that, and looking like very good possibility of a repeat this year. Out of the timeout, Castillo on the near wing, lazy pass, knocked right back to her, fortunately. Swing it all the way to the far wing for Haas into the mid-post. Kick back out from Headley. The three will not go in for Becker, and the rebound tracked down in the far corner by Jones. Chance to run for Wray. Davis instead will bring it up on the jog, being hounded in the backcourt by Becker, and just a little too much hounding there as she's called for the hand check, her first, team's 5th. So free throws for Wray, leading 9-8 with 56.1 seconds to go. Davis has to tie the shoe before she can take her free throws. First free throw set up, too strong. Davis, just a sophomore, one senior on the varsity roster for Wray. Bunch of underclassmen. Second free throw up, and that one will take a left turn off the back of the iron and squirt off the fingertips of Sydney Miller. Looked like maybe Jones touched it last, but the official, a heck of a lot closer to the play than me, said no. Swing it into Harms up top. Bledsoe onto the far wing. Was Davis back to Bledsoe, and she turned it over. Stolen by Miller. Castillo got herself in a trap. Tried to throw it off of the leg of Jones. Instead, Jones with the steal ahead to Harms. Bucket and the harm. First player other than Addison Jones to make one from the floor. The foul was the second on Becker. Free throw, hops the iron and into the hands of Miller. Long toss, stolen by Klein to Jones, and she loses it out of bounds. 11-8 Brush. This does not look like the same Wray team I saw just less than 2 weeks ago. Davis called for a foul, trying to deny the pass into Headley. Her first, just the third on Wray with 26.2 seconds to go in the quarter. Back to the 2-2-1. Pass hits it into the middle for Becker to break the press. Nice feed inside for Miller from Becker. Working opposite the ball. The freshman sealed her defender and drew the foul on Bledsoe. 2 shots for Sydney Miller. First one, too strong. Looking for her third point of this quarter. Gets it on the made free throw. It's 11-9 in favor of Wray. Just 15 seconds left in the period. Jogged up by Harms, gets past Haas. Nobody rotated over. She nearly had the lane to the layup. 3 straight away. Will not go for Davis. The offensive rebound. Harms sees the time, throws it up, way off the mark. We've got 1 quarter down. 11-8 or 11-9. Wray with the lead. Back in 60 seconds on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Second quarter here in Wray, where the Wray Lady Eagles lead your Brush Lady Beat Diggers 11-9. Carrie Sherman with you as the quarter just underway. Wray will swing it across the top into the hands of Aaron Bledsoe. Hands it off to Addie Jones. Skip it across for Katie Harms. Back up top to Jones. Jones had 8 in that first quarter. She'll put it on the floor, pull back out to Bledsoe and kick into the corner for Davis. Threw it behind the cutter and touched up in the backcourt by Harms for the turnover. Second quarter action here on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com is presented by Sydney Regional Medical Center. Don't let an injury keep you out of the game. Learn more about Sydney Regional Medical Center at sydneyrmc.com. The jumper by Aguirre Garcia off the mark. Good job of getting in the passing lane by Castillo, and Brush keeps possession. Castillo on the near wing. Trap kicks into the corner. Becker, 3, way off the mark. Long rebound tracked down in the far corner by Aguirre Garcia. Kicks it off on the wing, to Headley, and her first points of the contest tie us at 11. Bledsoe up top to Harms. Quick swing to Jones on the far wing. She'll put it up from 12 and bank it home. Addison Jones having herself a ball game, already into double figures with 10. Pass across the top to Brisa. Wants to find a passing lane. It's onto the wing instead. Swing it all the way back to the far wing for Middle Miss. 3 up, bank, not there. She'll track down her own rebound, 27 feet from the bucket. Kicks it down into the corner. Becker's drive across the paint. Now it's Middle Mist again, this time from the near wing, short. And inside with the tall Timbers is Sarah Becker, and she forces the tie-up. 6:20 to play in the half, 13-11. Wray with the advantage. Becker under the bucket, near side of the lane. Looks down, nothing there, kicks into the corner for Aguirre Garcia. Drive, kick back out, and still fighting for it from her backside. Kept it alive with Castillo, sorry. Castillo, she got decked. Count the basket and the foul. Put up the elbow jumper from the far side and took an elbow to the chops for her efforts. Foul called on Danielle Davis. That'll get us tied, but holy, whoo, that'll cross your eyes. Karime with the and one, has got it, and the Lady Diggers bounce back on top. Karime has 5 now, 14-13. Jones trying to do something about that. Her wing three hops off the iron into the hands of Middle Mist. Quick out to Castillo. She'll settle it down into the hands of Middle Mist. Now to Aguirre Garcia. Back onto the near wing. Castillo up top, Brisa. And she'll come right back to the near wing, and Castillo's 17-footer caroms off into the hands of Bledsoe. Head pass to Harms into the paint, bumped from behind. Looks like it's going to be Becker or Castillo. That's Becker, and that's 3. She checks out. Alex Haas replaces her. 5.5 left in the half. Bledsoe right back to the inbounder. Jones flips into the low post. Good move by Harms. Can't get it to go. Picks up her own rebound. Banking, no. And the rebound cleared by Headley. Team's leader there. Middle Mist. Peels back between the circles to Brisa. Drive, pull up, 15-footer, too strong. Rebound ping-ponged around. Saved. No. Thought maybe Middle Mist with the hustle had saved it, but it went off of her own teammate. Castillo checked out. And the first appearance of the night for sophomore Gracie Martinez. Harms down the far line, cuts it off in the corner, set the horn set to get it to Davis up top. Kicks onto the near wing for Jones, reverse back out to Davis, may have traveled. Pull up, 16-footer, slides off the iron into the waiting hands of Headley, and she is knocked to the floor hard. 16, they put a 3 on the board, but it's not. The runner back by Aguirre Garcia, and she is called for the foul after missing the shot. Again, I believe we dropped signal for just a little bit. We're sitting here with 92 seconds left in Wray. Wray leading 21-16. Scoreboard still shows 22, but again, the official was very adamant about that being a 2. And I believe that's going to get corrected here. It did. Quick swing onto the far wing for Davis. Again, this time the 3 slides off into the hands of Middleman. She got hammered as she got the outlet out, and then the ball stolen. Jones back to Bledsoe. She lifts up for 3. Long carom. I think Martinez knocked it off the knee of Bledsoe. Oh. That's on the opposite side of the floor for me. So, again, the official with a much closer shot at that one, but that looked like an odd change of direction. Final minute here in the half, 21-16, Wray. Davis not shy, she'll put up a 3 that caroms into the hands of Middle Mist again. Ball stolen from Haas by Davis, easy 2. She has the last 6 for Wray, and their lead up to 7. It's the biggest of the half. Haas has her pass stolen by Davis, off to Jones for 2 more. Jones has a dozen. Struggling with the press without Becker on the floor. Finally broken by Castillo. Kicks into the near wing. Middleman passed through the hands of Haas, able to track it down. 15 seconds left in the half. Onto the far wing, Martinez pass into the high post. Nearly stolen. Martinez, three, no good. 5 seconds left in the half. Long toss ahead for Jones. Jones pitches back, and they're not going to get a shot off, but an 8-0 run to close the first half. And it puts Wray up 25-16 here at the break. Well, I think I've got an interview lined up with Coach Bach of the boys here. We're going to take a 2-minute break, come back. We'll try to get that all set up for us here on 1010 KSIR and online at ksir.com. And we welcome you back to Wray here on the Eastern Plains Network. At the half, it is Wray leading Brush 25-16, thanks to, in large part, an 8-0 run in the final minute and a half of the first half. I'm Kerry Sherman. I'm joined by the head coach of the Brush Beat Diggers, Wayne Buck. Coach, coming in at 6-5 overall. January hasn't been really nice to you guys, but there were two losses that very easily could have been wins as well. A couple of 5-point losses, one in overtime. In those situations, kids like to put a lot of it on themselves. How do you get them to shake that off and remember, we win as a team, we lose as a team?
Yeah, we're big on moving on to the next play. So you'll probably hear me say it a lot tonight. And we say whether it's a positive play or a negative play, we're big on the next play. If it's a great play, let's celebrate, but we got to move on. And we go possession by possession. And so I was just talking to our guys. The greatest basketball coach that ever lived was John Wooden. And he always said there's nothing you could change about yesterday because it's in the past. There's nothing you could do about it. But if you want to win tomorrow, you got to make today your masterpiece. And so we've kind of latched on to that. And obviously John Wooden kind of knew what he was doing. So, yeah, but just the next play and making today our masterpiece and not forgetting about what happened yesterday because there's still things you could learn from and get better from it, but just focusing on each possession then each day.
Night in, night out, the Patriot is one of the most difficult conferences to start with, and this year with the reclassification and realignment, you kick up Wiggins, Wray, and Yuma.
Mm-hmm. Well, then you got to add in Rez, too. They went from 4A to 3A.
Yeah, I forgot about them. And, so you're going to be battle-tested every night.
Yeah, I was checking Friday before we played Yuma, and this is who we have left on our schedule. According to the CHASA index of 3A, the number 1 team in the state, the number 2 team in the state, the number 3 team in the state, number 4 team in the state, number 5 team in the state. Then you have 8, then you had like 11 or 12, and then you had like 18, then 19 and 22, and like it is an absolute dogfight. You will not convince me that there's a better conference basketball-wise in the state. It's brutal. It's fun because you know you got to bring it every night, and you're playing the state's best. And as a competitor, I think that's what you want. Yeah, it's a dogfight for sure.
Well, and it's been always fun to follow as an outsider, kind of keeping an eye on that stuff. Been kind of pulling up some numbers. Again, I'm not the regular Brush guy here, but why don't you tell us a little bit about the kids who really kind of get you started early in games to get you off to that, like I say, that fast start so that everybody else can get into the flow.
Yeah, we got Eric Rico. He's our point guard. He does a lot for us. And then, unfortunately, we lost Edgar Ortiz early on in the season. He was averaging, I don't know if it was like 15 and 8, 15 and 9, and he's done for the year. And then you got Thatcher Queen. Alexander Aguilar, he comes off the bench, and he's a spark. We got a lot of guys that have stepped up to try to replace Edgar. Now, one guy can't do the things that Edgar does, but we have a lot of guys that can do just bits and pieces here. And so, yeah, we're kind of a younger group. We don't have a lot of varsity experience. Last year, a lot of these juniors started or played as sophomores, so they kind of took our lumps there, and hoping that we can grow from that and just be better for that. So, yeah, we come out, we play really, really hard, and we'll be diving on the floor, we'll be flying around, we try to do things the right way, we try to play the team game and make the extra pass and whatnot. And at the end of the day, we just want to play good basketball and make our community proud of the product we put out on the floor.
Well, and from what I've seen night in, night out, you do that, all of that. So looking forward to it tonight. Coach, thank you so much for giving us a few minutes of your time. We'll let you get back to focusing on what you have at hand here tonight.
Yep, appreciate it. I'm willing to talk about our guys anytime. I love them like they're my sons, so appreciate the time.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Well, we're going to take a quick little 2-minute break. We'll come back with the start of the third quarter here on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. And we welcome you back to Wray High School. Just about ready to get the second half of our varsity girls contest underway with the Wray Lady Eagles leading your Brush Lady Beat Diggers 25-16. I'm Kerry Sherman and want to again thank the head coach of your Beat Diggers boys team, Wayne Bach, for joining me at halftime in our halftime show presented by B&B Appliance. With over 30 years of experience, B&B Appliance can help match the appliances. Oh, goodness, these are words that I'm not used to saying, I guess. Match the appliances to your needs. Stop by at 502 Ensign Street in Fort Morgan. Folks, I'm not really this tongue-tied generally. It'll be brush ball to start the second half, going right to left on your radio dial. I see Sarah Becker, Karime Castillo, Michelle Headley, Brisa Aguirre-Garcia, and Jocelyn Middlemist. In that step out 3-2 by Wray, and the first shot up and in by Castillo. That'll stop that little run of 8-0, not so little. Makes it 25-18, and Brisa comes up with the steal. Off to Becker, onto the near wing. 3 by Middlemist, slides off. Good hustle on the backside by Castillo. Inside they go to Headley, and she is fouled. The good entry from Aguirre Garcia. Foul is called on Aaron Bledsoe. That'll be her second. Headley's first free throw would not stay down. Headley at the line with 4 points in the contest. Make it 5 as that one's nothing but the net courts. 25-19 Wray. They've got Harms, Bledsoe, Klein, Davis, and Jones. Harms straight away 3. Oh, somebody left the door open. That one comes up short. Didn't catch anything but the floor. Aguirre Garcia looked at the baseball pass on the press. Got it into Castillo, right back to Brisa. Got to hustle to get it across. Becker down the far line. Body called against Harms. That avoided the turnover. And you get a foul. That's almost the best of both worlds. Second foul of the quarter on Wray. The lead trimmed down to 6. Trying to cut it in half, and doing so is Sarah Becker. Straight away 3, makes it a 3-point game, 25-22. Her first points, and that'll bring about the third timeout of the game already by Wray head coach Travis Kuhn. Timeout presented here by Gordon Insurance. Be prepared for everything life throws at you. Get your car, life, farm, and crop insurance all at Gordon Insurance. Visit GordonINS.com. Well, that's a great way to start the quarter out of the timeout. I think they've got to they've got to bump the quarter up on the scoreboard, still showing 2. That's just a little bit of housekeeping here, but you always want to see how a team responds coming out of that halftime locker room. And whatever Coach Rule said so far, the first 71 seconds has been just pure gold. Bledsoe on the near wing, back up between the circles with Jones. Back to Bledsoe on the near wing again. She'll drive into the paint, runner from 13. Too strong, she's fighting for her own, so is Klein, and Klein carries the ball out of bounds. Chance to get within 1 or even tie to take care of the ball against the press. extended 1-3-1, and I mean extended all the way to the baseline. Becker up the near line, kicks it into the middle. Headley, the extra pass down for Middle Miss. The layup too strong, and a backside rebound by Davis. Horrible angle. She needed to take a dribble towards the middle of the floor. That's a tough one, though. Pull-up jumper by Jones. Off into the hands of Headley. Quickly out to Becker. Almost 2 minutes gone here in the third quarter. Pass nearly thrown away. Middle Miss able to collect it. Gives it off to Becker. Becker drives, kicks across. Castillo, long jumper, knocked out of bounds. No, able to keep it alive was Davis. Gets it off to Jones. 25-22, Wray with the lead. Harms to Jones, swing it onto the far wing. Bledsoe, 3. Back off the heel, hit the top of the backboard, didn't touch anything above it. And Bledsoe has her first field goal, 4 points in the game, 28-22. Castillo shovels back out. Brisa, deep 3, cups out. Middle Miss with the steal, powers up, she'll draw the foul. That is the third on Danielle Davis. 2 free throws for Jocelyn Middle Miss. First one up and good. She had a free throw in the first quarter for all of her scoring to this point, 28-23. Second free throw on its way. That's too strong, and Bledsoe with the rebound. She'll go up the far line, being shoulder to shoulder with Headley. Inside, Meisner off the pretty feed from Jones, draws the foul. Second foul on Castillo. 5:16 left in the third quarter. Meisner's first free throw is good. I don't know if I said it tonight, but Wray typically a very good free throw shooting team. Meisner gets her first point of the contest, lead back to 6. Largest has been 9. Second up, and that misses everything. So it'll be brush possession with 5:16 to go. In now facing that 2-2-1. Becker, quick reverse to Aguirre Garcia. She'll give it right back to Becker up the near line. And then back to Brisa. Looks underneath, finds Middle Miss. Middle Miss, power layup, too powerful. The rebound by Meisner, knocked out of bounds by Becker with 4:59 to play in the third quarter. 29-23, Lady Eagles with the advantage. Jogged up by Harms, now walking it up, looking at that 2-3, swings it to the far wing. Bledsoe, no, that is Meisner. She replaced Bledsoe. Harms to Jones on the near wing, feed into the post, nearly stolen, back out. Jones up top to Harms. Elbow jumper, bounces twice, wouldn't go down. Headley stretches for the rebound, and then, she just got herself a technical. She got knocked under the chin, that forced the travel, and then out of frustration, slammed the ball. So that'll go as a personal foul on Headley. It'll be Jones who shoots the 2 free throws. That's the first foul on Headley. Second on the team, but here's where it gets bad because it's the 2 shots plus possession. Jones hits the front iron and pulls it in. 13 for Jones. Lead at 7. Missed the second. Scores table wants some clarification on something. Fonte checked out, didn't even see her coming in. Bledsoe back in her place. Bledsoe in the backcourt, brings it ahead on the near wing for Jones. Back to Bledsoe up top. Ripped away momentarily by Castillo, but Bledsoe finds the handle, gives it across the top for Jones. 30-23, Wray. 4 and change to play in the third. Harms drive, kicks down into the near corner. Jones shovels back out, right back inside to Jones. And goes across the top for Bledsoe. She's got to look for 3, and she buries it. 10-point lead for Wray. Aaron Bledsoe has 7. Largest lead of the contest. We've gone under 4 to play, 3:48. Headley, pull-up jumper from 7, short. Rebounded by Bledsoe. Again, off quickly to Jones. Defense backs up, pull-up jumper, no, too short. Rebounded by Headley. Lets traffic clear, gets it off to Becker. 3.5 to play in the third. 33-23. Middle Miss, nice move to get down to the baseline. Pitch back out. Becker corner. 3. Good! Sarah Becker with her second bucket of the quarter. Both are 3-pointers, giving her 6 on the night. Feed inside for Jones. And a little bump by Aguirre Garcia. That'll be number 4. She is replaced by Sydney Miller. Castillo comes out as Alex Haas comes back in. Heidi Harms came in. Ball into the hands of Katie Harms, gives off to Bledsoe, off to Heidi on the far wing, into the corner. Meisner, nice move to get a look from 12. Couldn't knock that one down as it rolls across the iron into the hands of Middle Miss. Jocelyn having a great night on the boards. Speeds up the floor with it, kicks it between the circles for Becker into the high post. Headley nearly had it knocked loose. She keeps it, gives it off to Middle Miss. Defender went down, kicked back 3. Becker, not this time. Bledsoe had it. Middle Miss steals it. Possession arrow on the jump ball goes to Wray, but 2:37 to play in quarter number 3. Jones back in, replacing Katie Harms in the Wray lineup. Rush trying to stay in that 2-3 as long as they can. Wray trying to shoot them out of it. They've hit a number of long-range jumpers already. Bledsoe on the near wing. Up top, Jones, quick swing to Harms. Freshman puts up one, may have been partially blocked. Another rebound for Middle Miss. Quick touch out to Becker, looks inside, finds Miller back out. 3 up, and no, that one hung on the rim but would not go down. It's Bledsoe flying up the far line. Into the corner for Meisner, back out on the wing. Bledsoe 3, front iron, and the good box out by Haas. Pass off to Headley. It ping-pongs around before she's able to slap it ahead for Becker to Middle Miss. Stop, pop, 3, yes! And this one suddenly back to a 4-point game as back-to-back threes by the Lady Diggers have made it 33-29. Minute 40 to play in the third. Bledsoe has her driving shot blocked out and trying to keep it alive on the baseline. Meisner, she'll lose it on the baseline. Younger Harms and Bledsoe out. Older Harms and Davis back in. In looking at the 2-2-1 full court press. Middle Miss right back into the middle for Becker. Reverse pass quickly to Haas. She'll draw the trap. Get it off between the circles to Becker. Middle Miss another 3 off the heel. And the rebound pulled down by Jones. She wants to run, has a flyer in front. Instead, she'll slam on the brakes, kick it between the circles to Harms. 33-29, Wray. 75 seconds left in the third quarter. Jones trying to drive baseline, bobbled it and lost it out of bounds. 1:11 left in the third. Again, this was 33-23 a little bit ago. It's 33-29. Flash right into the middle. Headley, quick swing to the far wing. Middle Miss splits the double, gets it down to Headley. Headley, she draws the double, shovels back out to Beckers. One more onto the far wing. The 3 up and good. Jocelyn Middle missed. It's a 1-point game. 33-32. Wray. 45 seconds left in the quarter. Harms skips it to the far wing for Davis. Quick swing back into the near corner for Jones. Onto the wing for Harms. Feed into the post for Klein. Her step through blocked. But a foul called. Did they get Headley or Miller? They got Miller. Sydney with her second. McKenna Klein goes to the free throw line, scoreless on the evening. First free throw up and too strong off the back iron. Kylie Greenwood making her first appearance of the evening. Gracie Martinez in as well. I believe it was Becker and Castillo who checked out. Second one wouldn't drop either, and the rebound by Headley. Haas, she's trapped in the near corner. Nearly loses it. Oh, Wray wanted the ball on the sideline right in front of him. Coach Rule got the 30-second timeout instead. 27.3 seconds to go. You had your shortest player in a big trap. It was the two tallest players on the Wray lineup at that point, trapping her in the near corner. Coach quickly getting the timeout. The timeout presented here by Western Engineering Consultants. Since 2003, they've been providing big firm products with small firm relationships. Visit westerneci.com for more information. 33-32. It's a 9-0 run by Brush in about 2 minutes of game action. Greenwood will inbound it. She has Haas and Martinez. Gets it into Martinez. Picked up top by Davis. Quick swing onto the far side to Headley, and she is fouled on the bring up. It's on Katie Harms, her second. Fourth team foul, so 21 seconds left in the third quarter. Still a chance to regain the lead for Brush. Martinez onto the near wing for Haas. Back up between the circles, Greenwood. Reversing it back to Haas. Pass stolen by Jones. Gives it over to Davis. Davis pull up in the paint. Short, and the rebound by Miller. Tracked down by Martinez. That's it. Quarter number 3 is done, but a great close to it for the Brush Lady Beat Diggers. Down one, 33-32 when we come back in the fourth quarter on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Fourth quarter from Wray about to get started here on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Kerry Sherman with you. Wray leading Brush 33-32. Jocelyn Middlemiss drives baseline, kicks it out. Karime Castillo's jumper wouldn't go. And a loose ball finally collected on the backside by Middlemiss. Her jumper off the mark. She's got it again at the free throw line. Kicks it onto the wing for Miller. Sydney gives it back out to Karime. Across the top for Becker. Headley, the fifth on the team to touch it on this possession. Brings it back out to Castillo. And a tie-up with, that was Davis. Fourth quarter action presented by Rudy's Tire. With 9 locations across Northeast Colorado and Nebraska, that means there's always a location close by. Rudy's Tires brings you Eastern Plains Sports Today every weekday on 1010 KSIR. Visit rudy'stires.com for more. Harms starts a drive, shovels back out. Bledsoe puts up a 3 and buries it. Aaron Bledsoe's come alive in this second half. That is 36-32. And she's into double figures with 10. Press broken by Middlemiss up the far line. She's trapped, splits it, gets it down to Headley, looks underneath, finds Miller, too strong, keeps it alive, shovels it back out to Becker, step back, straight away 3, short. And the rebound out of bounds off of Brush. 6:44 to play. 36-32, Lady Eagles with the lead. I missed getting you the third quarter sponsor, that's Stubbs Gas and Oil. One-stop shopping does exist. Gas, food, and all your travel accessories. Get off I-76 at exit 66A in Wiggins to visit them. Into the far corner. Davis skips it to the near wing. Bledsoe back over to Davis. Davis puts up the long jumper. It comes up short off the side iron into the hands of Klein. Gave it off to Davis. Davis floater off the baseline. Off the mark, and Middle Miss with yet another rebound. She's going to be close to 20 of them by the end of the night. With the toss ahead for Miller. Unable to go gadget arm that one and keep it alive as it was a late look. Becker had her earlier, but there was a lot of traffic in between. 2 minutes gone in the fourth. 36-32, Wray. Bledsoe left alone for three. That one wide off the mark, and Middle missed another rebound. I'm just going to get used to saying rebound, Middle Miss. Kick out three. Becker, front iron. Castillo comes up, shovels it. It will not go down for her. Sticking it home is Michelle Headley. Headley makes it a 2-point game as Meisner comes back in to the Wray lineup. The second foul of the night called on McKenna Klein. The and one is good, and we've got a 1-point game, 36-35. Headley has 8 now. Into the corner for Davis. She'll point it back up top. Harms a quick swing to Jones on the far wing, and her pass deflected off of Riley Meisner. Chance to take the lead. Last lead for Brush, 14-13. Oh, Becker, she wanted to get the pass away. Castillo didn't have her head turned, and Becker had already committed to it, called for the travel. 5:19 to play in the fourth, 36-31. Wray still on top. Pass in, good deflection by Miller. Another one by Becker, still Wray ball. Kick into the near wing. Davis back out to Harms, back to Davis. They play hot potato. Harms looks down low, short corner far side. Pass, that's kicked out of bounds by Meisner. Fonte back in, replacing Meisner. Becker, feed into the middle. Headley, quick reverse to Middle Miss, draws contact, floats it too strong. Fighting for the rebound. Tie up, possession arrow, Wray. No, they hadn't changed it. It is Brush possession. 4:47 left. Bledsoe to the table. Replacing Davis. Still a chance to take the lead on this trip for Brush. Right inside goes Headley. She's fouled from behind by Bledsoe, and that's 2 shots for Headley. Third foul on Bledsoe. 2 tries from the free throw line. First one ties us. Last time we were tied was 13-all. One more to get into double figures and give Brush the lead. Up and good. 37-36. It's a 14-3 run by the Lady Diggers. 10 for Headley. Harms left alone for 3, wide off the mark. Long rebound picked up by Klein. Off to Bledsoe on the far wing, trying to get past Headley, can't do so. Pitch back up top to Harms. Quick swing onto the near wing for Jones. Got it inside Fonte, and she can't knock down the layup. Headley got it out quickly. Onto the far wing. Castillo thought about the 3. She'll get it back from Headley. Long 2 will not go. Middle Miss cleans it up and draws the foul. Holy cow. Jocelyn Middle Miss playing out of her mind right now. That foul was the 3rd on McKenna Klein. 39 36. Free throw will not drop. Trying to clean it up is Headley, and she'll lose it out of bounds after the miss. So Middle Mist had 1 point in the first half. There's 2, 9, or 5, 8, 9 in the game. Bledsoe tries to drive to the baseline, pass across, stolen by Becker. Becker up the near line, leading by 3, nearly turned it over. Middle Mist back to Becker. 3 up, hard off the iron. Headley with the rebound. And Coach Rule gets the full timeout before the jump ball. 3:42 to play in the fourth quarter. Our action here on the Eastern Plains Sports Network, presented in part by Van Wyck Insurance. Insurance from over 60 lines to help you find the right one to fit your budget. Stop in and see Van Wyck Insurance at 508 West Main in Sterling. So just under 4 to play here. We've now had 5 ties and 8 lead changes in our contest. Rush has dug deep to start the second half and late in the third quarter, and now here in the fourth quarter, several times they could have just given up and collapsed and said, okay, we're done, but they're not done. They've fought all the way back. Again, they were down 33-23 with about 2.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. With 3:42 to play here in the fourth, they lead by a 39-36 score. Even with my Woodland math skills, that's a 16-3 run. Middle Mist under the bucket, near side. Skips all the way to the far corner. Becker's 3 up and no good. Middle Mist with another rebound inside, had it knocked out of her hands. And it's finally picked up by Wray. I believe that's Jones. Gets it off to Davis on the near wing. Reach in, foul called on Castillo. Karime, that is her first team foul of the quarter. Scores table with a quick buzz for reasons to blush. Jones up the near line, kicks it into the corner for Harms. Quick closeout by Headley, and the trap comes. Looks down into the short corner. Pass stolen by Miller. Sidney gets it out quickly to Middle Mist. Drops it back for Becker up the far line. Gets a screen from Jocelyn. Steps in. The 17-footer too strong. And Jones with the head of steam on the run. Goes into Middle Mist. Layup. Good. Good strong finish by Addison Jones. She now up to 15 on the night. Near turnover, Headley tied up, arrow 2. Wray with 2:48 to play. They're down 1 now at 39-38. Jones, long toss up top for Bledsoe. She'll drive, have her shot blocked. Coming out of there is Middle Mist, and she is grabbed. Got to be careful trying to rip through there. It's on Fonte. But swinging those elbows to clear it, almost got the foul on herself. She's got it against the press. Reverses it for Becker. 2:35 left in the fourth. Into the high post, Miller drops it off for Castillo. Jumper way off the mark. Rebound. Lost on the backside. I believe Headley was the last to touch it with 2:27 left. 39-38 Brush. Still in that now 2-1-2 as Miller comes up with the high post. Davis showed 3, traveled. Showed the shot fake and then picked up the back foot too quickly. Miller throws it away. Stolen by Jones, nearly stolen back by Becker on the far side. Miller showed some guard skills in the JV, but would have been better served to have gotten it to a guard there. Jones between the circles onto the near wing, stepped into the three by Davis, had it partially blocked. The shot inside, way off the mark by Fonte as she was falling down. Nearly hit the backside of the backboard. 2:02 to play in the fourth. 39-38 Brush. Need a bucket in the worst way. Long toss ahead from Headley to Castillo to Miller. Back to Castillo. Drop side inside. On the shot, the foul. Headley will go back to the free throw line. Oh, they're going to stay on the floor, but it won't matter. That's the fifth team foul. Fonte with the third. 1:54 left in regulation. Headley to shoot two. First up and cups out. Fonte out. Replaced by Klein. Miller came out. Brisa Aguirre Garcia replaces her to make it a 2-point lead. Second up and good. Headley has 11 now. 40-38. Davis on the near wing. Kicks it across for Bledsoe. Throws one off the mark, trying to get it down into the short corner for Harms. Coach Rule, two hands, palms down. Settle down. Be patient. Composure. Becker against the press, shovels ahead for Castillo. Had a runner up in front, but going to use the clock. Garcia, Headley, three for Becker. It's good. There's a dagger. Sarah Becker makes it 43-38 with 82 seconds left. Jones straightaway three. She's got it. Holy goodness gracious. Addie Jones. 18. Timeout. Wray, full timeout with 74 seconds to go. That is 9 for Becker on the previous trip. It's not just college, it's Northeastern, the largest residential community college in Colorado. It wants to help you in your educational journey. Visit njc.edu for more information. And at Bank of Colorado, they believe in keeping things simple. Apply for the loan you need for your dream home fully online. Visit bankofcolorado.com for all the information today. So a 10-point deficit turned into a 5-point lead that's down to 2. Wray is hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 threes in the game. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7 for Brush. Changing the press up to that extended 1-3-1. Second line at the free throw line. Your deep player is at midcourt. Aguirre Garcia directing traffic, gets it into Becker, ahead for Headley. Headley will slam on the brakes, nearly traveled with it, turned it over. Stolen by Harms, ahead for Jones. Addison onto the wing. Harms, that's Bledsoe for the lead. Rebound chopped down to Harms. Harms gets it off to Bledsoe. Under a minute to play. Castillo. Steal. Did they get the timeout? It's either a travel or a timeout. Castillo went and slid with it. Timeout given to Coach Rule. She was right there. It was all happening just 2 feet from her on that sideline. The official was right there with her. I mean, she was almost in his hip pocket. Coach on the Wray side not happy, but it was a correct call. So Now you've got to design a good inbounds pass from the sideline. You're right in front of your own bench. If need be, I believe you still have 2 timeouts at your disposal. Getting your house the right temperature is difficult. Call 970-522-07. Let's try that again. 0471 and let Bailey Mechanical go to work for you. Most of these are completely different from the reads I have. Again, I'm down in Burlington with KNAB. But excited to get the call to come and cover Brush and Wray tonight on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com out of Brush and Fort Morgan. Becker to inbounds, right in front of her coach. Now, run a high and wide box. Down screens. Castillo pops up, gives it right back to Becker. Becker feeds inside to Brisa. She'll turn, kick it across the paint. Headley, bring it back out. Castillo to Becker. You've got the lead. It's down to 40 seconds and force the foul. And Addison Jones called for her second foul, and Coach Kuhn emphatically yelling, not her, as it's Sarah Becker going to the free throw line. And she rattles the first home. Makes it a full possession. Becker's into double figures with 10. About to have 3 in there if Middle Miss can get another point tonight. 1 out of 2. Rebound in the far corner by Bledsoe. Her pass out, deflected, out of bounds. Up the line by Brush. 35.1 seconds to go, leading 44-41. Jones onto the near wing. Davis back to Jones. 24-footer. Cups in and out. Rebound ping-ponged into the hands of Harms. She can't get her stick back to go. Headley with the rebound. Gives it off to Aguirre Garcia. Long toss ahead for Becker. Clock under 20 seconds to go, and Jones has no choice but to foul Becker again. 18 seconds exactly. That shot for 3 to tie. Spun around and toilet bowled out. First free throw, not good. The tension starting to get to the free throw shooters. I think Coach Kuhn wants a timeout, make or miss. It's a miss. Rebound by Headley. She's got it, held. Now Michelle Headley to the free throw line on the foul by Katie Harms. Her third. Team's over the limit, so with 15.6 seconds to go. Shooting 2. Hit the back iron hard, but got a kind roll. She's got a dozen. 4-point lead, 45-41. That one in and out, the rebound by Harms. Coming up the floor, with 12.4 seconds to go. Timeout, Wray. Got to make sure you don't foul anybody on a jump shot. I believe Wray has 1 timeout remaining. Nope, they're empty. So if there's fewer than 5 seconds left on a made basket, just step away. You don't have to inbound it at that point. Brush has 1 timeout left in the pocket. Again, 12.4 seconds left. Lady Beat Diggers up 45-41. Possession arrow favors Brush on any tie-up. They have fouls to give. You just don't want to give them on the shot. Just 1 team foul in the quarter. Just again, you have to make sure if you're giving up a foul that shot does not get out of the hand. Scorers table, again, notifying the officials of the timeout situation. It'll be Jones inbounding in the backcourt, just across midcourt, gets it to Harms. Harms trying to get it down for the Screen, the three, no, actually that was a long two by Bledsoe. The rebound into the hands of Harms. That will not drop. Bledsoe one more time. That's it. Rush completes the comeback. They'll win this one 45-41. Took 4 two-point shots when they needed, well, I mean, two, you go for the two if you have a timeout left. And don't have one, I mean, that's a tough situation. Real quickly, we're going to get our players of the game here. Player of the game, 9 points and probably close to 20 rebounds. Jocelyn Middlemist is my player of the game. Premier Farm Credit, for over 100 years, they've been providing affordable, reliable, and consistent credit. Visit premieraca.com. What I do at the end of games on my broadcast down on KNAB, I just like to give out 2 resources for people who are fighting some mental health issues. If it's the 988 National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline number. You have to call, you can text, you can find them online. We need to get that conversation started. And for our youth who are struggling, imattercolorado.org. Make sure you sit down and share that information with your teen, your child. Get them the information they need to get back to themselves. Our post-game show presented by Advanced Agri-Solutions. Water is key to your crop's success. Advanced Agri-Solutions has year-round and seasonal probes that will help make sure you have the right amount of water. Call Dusty or Roxy McCormick at 970-571-2024. Well, we need to re-rack things, get ready for the boys contest. How about we take a 5-minute break and come back with our pregame show here from Wray on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.